Hey everybody, welcome to this episode recap of Ultimate Spider-Man Season 1, Episode 2, Great Responsibility. Well, there's not a lot going on in this episode, but it sort of connects to the first episode. It was a two-parter. Yeah, you get it in the title? Great power, great responsibility? Yeah, it's Uncle Ben. Anyway, let's see what's going on in this episode. Spidey's training at S.H.I.E.L.D. and everybody's watching because they're sort of doubtful if he can do it and if he actually can join. And there are actually some new guys watching him. They have fancy suits, so they must be superheroes, but they'll introduce themselves later. But hey, if you're a comic book fan, you already know who these guys are. Despite everybody doubting him, Spider-Man does complete the training. And he does it in a reasonable time. And Nick Fury is all like, hell yeah, I knew you could do it, boy. Well, he doesn't say it, but you can see it in his eye. And after that, Spider-Man gets introduced to the gadgets, and he actually gets a spider bike. Yeah, really, a spider bike. It is just introduced to sell toys, you know. Get this bike, get it now in a toy store near you. We spend a lot of time on the spider bike. Spider-Man tearing up the town and he has no idea how to use it. So I guess it's just a little filler, I don't know. But in the end, his new, soon-to-be friends, save his ass. And we get an official introduction of White Tiger, Nova, Power Man. Yeah, Power Man. They went with that name. And Iron Fist.
Name's Nova, creep. Nova, creep. Catchy.
After that epic introduction, we found out that Spider-Man really doesn't want to work with anybody else, because he doesn't want that responsibility. Nick Fury tries to manipulate him by even throwing a little Uncle Ben guilt trip in it, but Spidey's like, no man, this is not for me. Spidey's really not going for it, but in the end, he doesn't really have a choice, because after he leaves S.H.I.E.L.D., he's under attack by the Frightful Four, or Terrible Three, or the Three Amigos, or whatever you want to call these guys. But they're here and they're kicking his ass. Luckily for him, his almost new friends come and help him. But instead of really helping them, they sort of cause more trouble. And Spidey's like, no guys, what are you doing? Look down there, as he points to the crowd. You have to protect those people. We have superpowers, we can protect ourselves. But they're useless, or something like that. He brings it a little nicer, but that's what it's all about. So Spidey takes care of the bad guys, and the other guys just, serve and protect all the people on the street. After the battle, Peter goes to Fury and says, well, I do want to join the team, but I also need some alone time, so I want to be Spider-Man by myself as well. And Nick does agree with him, sort of, because when we cut back to the school, Peter's about to get stuffed into a locker, and then suddenly someone helps him out. A mighty fist. And looks around and says, thanks for the help, but who are you guys? Well, 4 people, 4 heroes in his team. Well, you know who they are. Peter's like, oh, you're in the school, haha, that's great, but I have to talk to somebody. Then he runs towards the principal. He says to the principal, I want to transfer from the school. The principal turns around and dun dun dun, it's Agent Coulson. So basically, Spider-Man is still surrounded by S.H.I.E.L.D., even in his Peter Parker life. And that's about the entire episode. Well, not a lot of shockers in this episode, although we do see the new mysterious Doc Ock again. Well, at least his lip. So that's pretty sweet. Now I bet we're gonna see more of him. But that was kind of the cool bits. I mean, if you're talking about the what moment, I don't know, it wasn't really there this episode. I mean, I guess you could say that the introduction of the 4 members of the team could classify as a what moment, but I don't know. I like Spider-Man better as a solo hero, but then again, this show is meant for him to work in a team, so yeah, I guess it's difference of opinion. And who knows, maybe the chemistry is awesome. A sort of good-bad moment was the Kurt Connor scene. I mean, it's kind of cool, and you see him with his one arm, and like, oh, hell yeah, he's the Lizard. But then, haha, my arm was in my sleeve. So, meh. But who knows? He still might turn into the Lizard. I mean, it's just Season 1, Episode 2. Stuff could happen. You never know.
Always glad to meet a fellow genius. Awkward.
A pleasure. I followed your career closely.
I would have to say that the bad was definitely the spider bike. I mean, it was like 4 minutes or something of the episode. It's like, we really want you to buy this toy. Or they made the episode and they were like, oh shit, it's just 5 minutes. What can we do for filler? Ta-da! Enter the spider bike. I don't know, it's kind of useless. I hope we don't see that thing a lot in future episodes, but I don't know. If you want to sell toys, it will be there. But the what moment was definitely the Stan Lee cameo. I mean, it was like, what? He's back. I thought it was just for one episode, but he was there. And he does this awesome little, anybody could be Spider-Man, and he turns around and goes like, whit, whit. That was kind of funny.
Twit, twit.
Well, maybe not anybody.
Well, guys, that wraps it up for this episode. I mean, there's not much more to say, because not really a lot happened in this episode. It was just all part of the introduction episode, you know. This was part 2 of 2. So if you pace it to the first episode, you have a decent story, but it's not great yet. So hopefully it will pick up in the next episode. And we'll find it out together once we recap episode 3. Till then, guys, thanks for watching. Latest.